Hello, Cancer. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. This is a general reading for your Cancer placements for the rest of March. This is a blessings and blocks reading. If you are a shadow worker, if you're doing shadow work, this is definitely for you, but not only for shadow workers, okay? We're going to pull your first card. It is going to be your overall energy. No, it is going to be the energy that is easiest for you to access from the divine to help you, as well as your advice card. Okay, now I've already shuffled all the cards except for this deck. So your first card out, let's take a look. 8 of Swords. 8 of Air, I'm sorry. 8 of Air. All right, we're going to keep that there. And let's read from the book. 8 of Air. First thought I am getting from this is for you to look at where you are creating a martyrdom for yourself, okay? So let's read what it says. The ego, truth, power, responsibility, consequences, cause and effect, lessons learned, and memory. Ego does not always tell the truth. Effect will always follow cause. Time to change your ways. Admit that you made a mistake. Memory is imperfect. Self-justification does not mitigate harm. Consequences are inescapable. We all make mistakes. We are creatures driven by our egos. Our ego is in part our identity, the center of our consciousness. It is driven by our instincts and base desires and constrained by culture and society. It can have us feeling confident and certain, or it can have us feeling uncertain and afraid. It can also employ one of several defense mechanisms to shield us from uncomfortable truths or a reality that we are not willing or ready to accept. So many of us are afraid of the truth. We can be so afraid of the truth that our ego will work hand in hand with our primal instincts and do what it can to protect us. If our ego is wounded, we have been taught to fear. The defense mechanisms employed may also be detrimental to good health, well-being, and to our relationships with others. Our need to feel safe, to feel good, to be right, to be better, to be needed, and to be loved can result in the evidence at hand. Reality being distorted and shaped to fit our perception of events so that we want to believe is in conflict with fact. Cognition is the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and senses. Cognitive dissonance conflict that arises when an individual attempts to hold on to two conflicting beliefs or thought processes at the same time. That conflict can give rise to mental, emotional, and physical discomfort, especially when our actions and our reason for behaving in a particular manner war with our natural sense of right and wrong and the moral code we are taught by those around us. Practicing a behavior that does harm, smoking or overeating, for example, can give rise to cognitive dissonance. The desire to continue doing something that everyone knows and cannot deny is harmful is rejected by a belief that it benefits the individual more than it harms them. Their parents or grandparents may have smoked for decades with no apparent ill effects, or the individual may come from a long line of overweight people who all lived long and happy lives. The act of smoking helps one to keep their weight under control, while the act of eating makes the other feel sated and peaceful. There's an emotional or psychological hook, and so they continue even though their choice to do so could result in their chronic ill health, even death. What they have is an addiction, and what their mind attempts to do is to make them feel good about the fact that they refuse to give up their addiction. They know and understand the potential consequences of their choice to continue, but to refuse to consider them or choose to ignore them, responding in a defensive manner when those consequences are raised. Okay. There's a lot more to this card, but we're going to stop there. And when I first picked up that card, I got martyrdom. So being willing to suffer because it's feeding something in your ego that is driven by fear, the ego portion of you that is driven by a need that is not real, that you see as real. The need to be loved. I need to be loved and accepted, therefore I am going to take on the burdens. I'm going to put myself in a position that creates a cognitive dissonance within me. I must make this relationship work. I will suffer for it. Woe is me. Do you see what I'm saying? Putting yourself at a disadvantage intentionally. And it's intentionally creating a situation that is not healthy. It's not cognitively done. It's not consciously done. This is a subconscious need within yourself to hold on to something. And you have the opportunity to see this and break this. So let's see where your shadow work is. Your blocks. We have Father with unrequited love. Perhaps you didn't feel valued or loved from your father. And knowing that you are good enough, on a subconscious level, we all know we are good enough. This creates chaos within you. This causes the cognitive dissonance. I deserve love, but yet I don't deserve to be loved. That's a huge block. Your blessings, Earth Chalice, and gratitude. Seeing everything that you have to be grateful for will help you to overcome this feeling that you're not worthy of the love that you desire, of a higher love, of a love that doesn't cost, of a love that doesn't hurt. Where are you headed? Staying focused, hold the course. Staying focused on believing that you don't have to sacrifice, that you don't have to be unhappy, that you don't have to be in a situation that is unrequited love, that is not what is good for you. There's a situation here that is in front of you right now where you are not valuing yourself enough. You dream of one thing, but you settle for another. Okay? So staying focused on work, perhaps. Let's find out more. Spirit, what else do you have for Cancer for this read, please? What else do you have for Cancer for this read, please? Thank you. Work. Putting the work in. This is not in a relationship. This is not a relationship card, and you have Earth Chalice. I think perhaps pulling back from relationships right now. Queen of Cups, so you can study your own cup. To give you time. Work seems to be a place where you don't have to give emotionally. It seems to be an emotionally comfortable place for you. where there is equal give and balance, reciprocity. Queen of Wands. 2 females. Interesting. 3 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. Feeling heartbroken and disappointed over a situation. Unrequited love with father. Could be a father figure. This could also be your own masculine energy. Could be a spouse, a lover, a friend. This is a situation where someone is not able, for whatever reason, to give you what you need. They're not able. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. I'm sure that you've had relationships in your life where you were not able to give the person what they wanted, what they felt they needed from you. It had nothing to do with them. There is a situation here where you need to stand up and focus on your own heart, on healing, and taking action, putting in the work right now, focusing on work right now is going to allow you some distance from this, to be able to see where you're stabbing yourself. This guy's stabbing himself. I'm going to make sure that it focuses so you can see this. You see that? He's stabbing himself. Allow yourself some distance. Allow yourself some autonomy. Allow yourself some space so that you can see where it is that you're doing this, love, so that you can then begin to heal it. Recognition of this is first and foremost, but whatever it is, it's taking a toll on you physically. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to hit that like button. Join us during a live. Get a free question. You know I love you. Peace to you. Ciao.